bright and cloud-free sky 30th day of the Haunted Tents experience. And me and Katie are getting a late start. I slept into almost 10 o'clock. It's a little after 11. I needed it. I went to bed at 10 o'clock last night and got up at almost 10. It was just a couple of minutes before. 12 hours sleep, and I'm still sleepy. We're just getting out here. We're out front. Figured I'd give you a little bit better view. Swan got her cobwebbing done. I got my lighting done. Though I do have two fixes I need to do. Katie, come on, house. Get in there. One is the witch here. We went and put 2 of my 6 LED floodlights, red, down on the witch. And it wasn't enough to trip the sensor. You know, bright enough so when people walk by, it would trip the sensor. So I added a blue light here up on the arch pointed down. It highlighted the witch bear. We love to look at, but still we're having a problem with it. What we need is for when people walk in front of it, it blocks the light, which triggers the sensor. We've used this on George a couple of times. Well, with it being mounted up so high, it's not doing what it needs to do. So I need to take this light and I need to run a wire back down here, and we're going to mount the light here. So anyone coming through the gate will block that light, and that will fool the sensor and get the sensor to trigger so the witch will fire. I need to do the same thing with George as well. I put a blue or green light on him, and I need to move it down a little bit to where people will trip it. So that's a quick and easy fix on both of those. It won't take long. Though what's going to take me long is in here, the photo hallway. We got in here tonight. I got all the little control boards for the RGB light boxes scattered throughout here on. I also got all the spots mounted yesterday. And I got 2 floods put in over here just to highlight the display. I will be doing some uplighting off the fence once it's in place to highlight the book, the scalabra, the figures, what have you. But that won't happen after I get the hay in. Swan's done her thing and what have you. I'll just run a power lead down the wall for right now and just leave it sitting there. That I can come back through and do the lights on the fence when I need to. But today's project is I've got to get this place wired. And with the configuration of the walls and the plywood up on top, I'm going to have to get wonky with my wiring to get this all wired. And this is not a quick job. It's probably going to take all day today to get this place wired up, and probably a little bit tomorrow to do it. This is the worst display out of everything next to the graveyard to get wired up and lit. I've got one 12-volt line I have to run from the power station out here just to run the lights. I've got another 5-volt line I've got to run out here to run the 2 cameos. And I'm going to trip on a dog. Then I have a second 5-volt line I need to run just to run the book. Now I could run the book and the cameos off the same line, but I want to be able to turn these 2 props off individually, in case something happens. Like if something happens to the book and I hit the switch, it would turn the cameos off too. So I want to make sure I have that option of. And then I also need to run a second 12-volt line out here to power the board, the brain box, which also runs the book. So I've got 2 12-volt lines, 2 5-volt lines. I've got lights to hook up. I've got 5-volt items to hook up. It's just extremely labor-intensive, this display. And I don't know how long it's going to take. And with this plywood on, I am not going to be able to run all my wiring. I usually hide all my wiring on top of the walls. I don't have access to that this year with the plywood on. So, we've got interesting times today, and that's what we're going to be working on. I think I'm going to tackle the witch and George first and get them set up and going. And then I'll get over into the photo hallway. Because if I start on the photo hallway, I'll never make it to the witch and George. Breakfast of the day, handful of Pringles sour cream and fried potato chips, a handful of mints. and a couple of good slugs off of coke, which is exactly what I had. Okay, a little bit of a footnote. The wiring I've been doing in the haunt, lighting, control boards, what have you, where I use my speaker wire. The wire I've been using is the stuff I saved from last season, stuff I had left over from last season. I've got one more coil left, and I got what's left on this roll. I have no idea how many feet are left on this roll, but we're going to get this used up, and then we'll be getting into new stuff. And since you've been with us on the trip, you know what we've gotten wired up so far. You know, we've gotten quite a bit done just using the leftover stuff, or the stuff we saved from last year. Okay, guys, I just realized it's going on frickin' 10 o'clock. I've been out here messing around in the photo hallway all day, except for putting this blue light in here, which shines up on the witch. I have not tested the witch yet to see if she'll trigger when someone walks in front of that blue light, but she should. Photo hallway has taken me all goddamn day, and if you notice, this one is not lit. I spent a good hour and a half messing around with it. Finally, took down this picture and plugged it into this circuit, and it worked. So my wiring is fine. It's with the box itself. So I'm going to have to take this down tomorrow morning first thing, open it up, and double check the problem. And I think I know what the problem is. And if it is what I think it is, I'm going to have to replace the RGB lights inside. But other than that, it is fully operational in here. And Kay and I just got done moving the truck. I'm going to have to reposition the sensor for the book, I think. Okay, let's go back here. Here we go. Now the one part of this prop I don't have on is the fog machine. And when the fog machine is on and working, you get fog coming out the skulls out there. It looks like they're breathing smoke. Now another problem I've got is the cameos. This guy is working as intended. When the eyes flash and mouths moves, you hear him talk. This one, all you do is hear the mouse clattering back and forth. I think there's a broken wire, or the speaker has failed in it. And it's too late now to fix it. So I don't know if I'll have them on during the haunt or just as a showpiece. I'll have to wait and see. But in fact, I'm going to zoom out, and we'll go around like this. You know, and then they're into pirate. But anyway, the photo hall is for the most part done. I just got to fix that light box. Now stay tuned for your end of the day wrap up. Okay, end of the day wrap up. We got the 2 floodlights put in for George and the witch out front. That was quick and easy. I spent the rest of the day in that damn photo hall. I knew it was going to be an all-day project. And with that one light box not working and needing to be fixed, which I will attend to tomorrow morning, it was my intent tonight to at least take it down, open it up, and check the RGB light strip inside. I think it's torn right where the plug is, where I plug it in at, in which case the RGB strip is really not any good. I can jury rig it with another connector and what have you if need be. But it's almost as easy just to take it out, throw it in the trash, and put a brand new one in. And I got a couple of extra rolls of the RGB light strips I bought over the last winter, and they were very cheaply made. And they were cheap, which is why I bought them. And it's the old saying, you get what you pay for. Had some wiring issues in there. Some of it, I used up the last of my leftover wiring, and I had one section I was trying to use. Ended up being no good. And it took me a while to diagnose that problem, got that fixed. Then I had a user error problem. Went over to do the actual display where the Scalabra is, and I went to attach the board. Plugged the board in, programmed it, let me program it and everything. But I was noticing the relay switches, all 4 of them. When you program it, there's a light that comes on for each relay, depending on which button you hit. And they make a clicking noise. Well, the light was coming on, but they weren't making a clicking noise. I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. I figured, okay, it's a bad board. I went and got another board. Figured I'd take a look at this one, over the winter and see what the hell's going on. Maybe call Tim Thompson, who was the guy that created it, and see if he can walk me through what was wrong with it, because I couldn't figure it out. And I got to thinking with the second board. The second board was doing the same dang thing. And it's like, okay, I can't have 2 boards with the same problem. It's almost astronomical. I mean, if you have the 2 boards out and they get filled up with water and short, yeah, they'll have the same problem. But it's been 84 degrees, no clouds, and sun. So it isn't water. But I figured out what the problem was. It wasn't the boards, it was me. I had attached the board to the 5 watt circuit for the book. The board takes 12. Not 5. And it's not watt, it's amp. 5 amp line. Which was enough to make the board so you could program it and the lights on it would come on. But the relays wouldn't fire. They need 12 volts. That's what the board's designed for. I hooked it up to the correct power, hooked up to the 12 volt DC. And it's volts, not amps, not watts, it's volts. But anyway, hooked it up to the 12 volt. And pow! It worked just fine, just as intended. So it was my error. It was getting late, but I wasted an hour and a half, almost 2 hours with that damn board trying to figure out what the heck was going wrong. If it was me, the board, or, the gremlins. And it was a big gremlin. But anyway, got that work, got the display closed up. And I just got done. I had 3 green spotlights I wanted to get on that fence. I was going to use as uplighting for the 2 skeletons and the Scalabra. Okay, let's go ahead and get those in. Those went right in, what have you. And I figured, okay, Katie's been bugging me to park the truck. So I got things for the most part cleaned up. Went and got her. And I figured, well, since I'm going to go park the truck, I'll grab the phone, and as we come back in, I'll do a walkthrough so you can see what I've done. Turn on the cell phone, it's going on 10 o'clock. And it's like, holy shit. I thought it was going on like 8:30. Maybe 9. I didn't think it was going on 10. My plan is after I'd done that walkthrough, I was going to take the light box down, which takes a little bit of doing because that thing weighs a ton, and get the back opened up. That way tomorrow I can just come out here, pop the new lights or whatever the fix was going to be in, put it back together and hang it back up, save some time. It's 10 o'clock. I ain't going to mess with that damn light box. I'm beat. So I'll just wait. I'll take it down. Tomorrow, it's getting that light box working, hung back up, and we'll give you a look at the photo hallway again with the light box working, because it does add a lot of character, to its section. It's a big light box. And then we're going to hop over into Pirate and work on the Pirate and see where we can get in there. Whether I get it done or not, I don't know. All I know is I got a late start today because I slept in. I hope I sleep in tomorrow too. It felt good to sleep in. Anyway, stay spooky, stay toxic.